I see you holding that, but
Hey, I was still in there.
You shot.
No,
you shot yours.
Shoot
A rocket
after.
A rocket went right by my head. Oh, geez.
I didn't shoot until after you shot. You shot at me.
I don't know. Do we need a replay?
Play it back on the replay.
I don't have that
Clumsy,
cool. I don't have that cool
first?
replay. Yeah, Clumsy can tell us who shot first.
Clumsy, you're the moderator here. Who shot first?
Okay.
Oh, here. This will help.
I think I like the look.
Here.
It's like Magic Mike vibes, right?
Ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
Damn.
We're not
Damn.
the United Colony. One bad
Damn.
apple won't spoil the whole.
You can throw this through. Ready? Missed. And a missed. And a missed. And a missed. And a missed. Not that. Give me that. Keep it up. You're doing great. And I missed. Oh, come on. Get in the hole. Come on. You're so close. Keep going, champ. You got this. There we go. Nailed it. First try.
Guys? Dash?
Yeah.
Uh,
You fell on the floor.
you okay?
What's over here?
I'm a mole man. Diglett. Diglett. Diglett.
Hey, I actually got that reference.
How do I get out
It's a
of this?
Pokemon.
How do I get out? How
Can
do
you try to roll?
How do you... Oh.
There you go. Oh,
I took cover.
nice. From their backs.
I got a little monkey.
Come on. 2 times. Isaac keeps streaming and then going offline. What's his problem, man? Am I not following Isaac? I don't get his notifications, I guess. The heck was that? Oh, geez. No, wait. Wait. No. No, no, no. Let me turn this off. Okay. That's the wrong desktop. Why would you take that desktop? Why would you take that display? You know, it might have been because oh, I can be Jar Jar now. Cool. Excellent. I hear someone. Huh? I hear someone. Because the cockpit halt. Hello? Oh. You again, huh? We meet again. Get cyberbullied. Wandering traders. Oh no, Kay is rubbing off on me. What have I become? What have I done? Who am I? I've become that which I have feared. Three, 2, 1. Hello, good morning, happy Friday. Welcome to the Friday thing. Name in progress. Every time I say it out loud, I'm not sure that I like it. But listen, 2024 is the year of trying things, you know? It's a year of trying out everything. Putting yourself out there, right? Clumsy, congratulations on becoming the Phantom Menace this morning. I have something to show you in regards to that just a little bit later in the show this morning. But congratulations on 36 times. It is related to how many times. 2024 is your Try Guys era. Well, listen, like, it's not going to be like 2022, where I play every game known to mankind out of sheer boredom. It's going to be more like trying content. Content? I don't know if what I've been making is content. I mean, I guess it is. Like, in its technical term, it is. But I'm talking about, like, producing something a little bit more. I think I like the idea of producing. The more I think about it, the more I kind of like the idea of it. But I also easily get overwhelmed. So who knows? I don't know if that's a great idea or not. So yeah, 2024, the year of, like, trying things, you know, not everything, but trying some new things, you know. But good morning, happy Friday, December 29th, 2023, the final Friday show of the year. The year is like so close to being done. I didn't even didn't even really think too much about it because I have that first week of January off. So my mind has kind of been in like the new year doesn't start until the week after that. But man, 2024. I plan on doing a lot of reminiscing next Friday. I guess that leads me to my first topic. Next Friday, at the time of recording this, it is, of course, 12/29. So the next Friday would be 1/5, January 5th, 2024. I just got used to saying 2023, and now I got to learn a whole new year. I'm going to be writing 2023 for a while. Right? How is it already the 29th? Time is just flying by. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. I would feel very, very odd if I was the only one on Earth to feel like time has just been unrelenting. But I think it happens as we get older. You know? I don't know. I really started noticing it in my 30s. It's like, wow, you know, like that time between Thanksgiving and Christmas used to seem like such a long way. Such a long time in anticipation for something like Christmas. And now it's done. It's over in a minute. And that's why I don't understand the people who are so upset about people putting out Christmas decorations early, because we're in the process of taking ours down right now as we speak. Usually we would have them in the attic by now, but we've been kind of lazy I've been kind of lazy about it. Let me say, Mrs. Nodder's been doing her thing. I got to still put it all up in the attic. But being mad about that is so weird to me because it's like, it's not up that long. Like, it's really not. It is not that long. And if you tell me that I can only put up my Christmas decorations like 3 weeks before Christmas, like, come on. I used to be one of those people though. So I'm not one of those people any longer, but I did used to be one of those people. It's weird with me. It feels like it's going by so fast. When I think about something I did in August, it feels like forever. Yeah. It's kind of the way I feel about 2020, the 2020s in general. If I think about something that happened before, like on 2019, it both feels like forever ago and also last year. The last like 3 years specifically have been oddly a blur. Let's see. What was I going to bring up? I was going to bring up. I guess I could do game of the stream reminder, huh? So if you're watching or listening to this now, you still have time to vote in the game of the stream. I'm going to go grab a link real quick. There it is. You still have time to vote in game of the stream. I'm putting it in chat right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try to remember to put it in the description, but I don't know. But this poll is really for people who have been watching the stream all year. Obviously, if you're new here, you're more than welcome to vote in it. I think that's just fine. In fact, I would love it if you did, because I kind of want to get a sense of which games this year meant the most to us as a community. Which ones did you enjoy seeing streamed more than any of the others? And there's not many to choose from. There's not many to choose from this year. Let me open this up. I've already voted on it myself because there were some standouts for me. Let's go over there. But I want to show you the games that we got here. So there's Red Dead Redemption 2, which we played 2 sessions of, 2 Saturdays. That was when I was trying to like ramp everything up again. Rigged. No, I can vote for my own, right? Yes, you can definitely still vote. Absolutely. We're not doing it right now. I'm just showing the poll so that people can see which games I'm talking about. Red Dead Redemption 2, Lego Brick Tales, good one. Tears of the Kingdom, Dave the Diver unfinished, Starfield finished, and RuneScape not possible to finish. I'll talk more about each of those games next Friday when we do the game of the stream. But I should show you. I know some of you have looked, but I should show you last year's. Let's go to the announcements channel. Let's see. Boom, boom. You know, I also need to focus on that VOD channel too. Here we go. Game of the Stream 2022. Visit site. Let's see. This one here. All right, this was last year's. In comparison, I want to kind of show you. In comparison. Holy cow. Now listen, it's not a bad thing to do a bunch of games. Look at all the unfinished. Jedi Fallen Order, unfinished. Let's Build a Zoo, unfinished. Arguably, kind of hard to finish, right? Lars, good morning. Sea of Thieves, unfinished. Forger, unfinished. Hellblade, unfinished, because it didn't really run on my computer at the time. Long Winter, early access game. Stardew Valley, hard to finish. I don't know why I put Cyberpunk here, because I also definitely didn't finish that. So that should have an unfinished next to it. But that was last year's. That was last year's poll. And in comparison to this year's, it is a stark contrast for sure. Whoop, that didn't work. Nope, sorry, why'd I go to RuneScape? Come on, man. Paste. Ah, shoot, come on. I missed the H when I copied it. I'm a professional. Yeah, so this is this year's. I think though what I'm really enjoying is being sort of a semi variety streamer. I don't want to try a new game every week. I don't want to try a new game every day, especially. I want to find games that I can stick with for a little while. Like Tears of the Kingdom was perfect because I played like 3 to 4 months worth of Tears of the Kingdom. It's pretty wild. Yeah. And outside of Red Dead Redemption 2, we did stick with most of these for a while. We stuck with Dave the Diver for a while. That one's probably the one we didn't stick to the most. But everything else, we pretty much played quite a bit. We did. But yes, you can still vote on that. Here's the link one more time in chat, just in case. So there you go. In case you need that again. I think it's going to be a fun time. I have some fun things planned. It's not going to be quite as huge as Santa Non, but there's a couple of fun surprises that we'll do next Friday for Game of the Stream. I have to work on it. I was working on today's show yesterday, and after today, I've got to work on Game of the Stream. So kind of nice having something to work for each week. It's kind of. So far, this is the second show in, we'll see, but so far I'm liking it. I'm on my phone, but it has rubber bands on it from getting repairs, so typing is extra slow. Oh, man. You got rubber bands on it to, like, glue the screen back down? Did the screen break or something? I'm finishing games for January and February myself. Nice. I don't think I'm necessarily going to put the pressure on me that I have to finish a game, especially if I don't like it. but I am going to put the expectation that when we pick a game to play on stream, it is going to be something that we give a fair shot. RuneScape specifically taught me that there's a passionate community behind that game. There's depth to that game that I didn't realize. And if I had just quit after doing the challenge, I never would have known that, right? I have a lot of respect for that game, and I've met some really nice people. Some of you watching this are probably some of those nice people that I've met due to RuneScape. So the fingerprint sensor broke. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so that's game of the stream. Let's see what else is on the docket for today, shall we? Move this up here. How are you all doing today? On the last Friday of 2023. Are we holding together? Are we going to finish strong, as I used to say? Back in college, I went to a Christian college. Bible college. I cringe just saying it. They would tell us towards the end of the semester, you need to finish strong, finish on a high note. Don't let yourself slack off now. Finish strong. Sure. Clumsy's doing good. Just had a big movie night with a friend and had such a good time. What did you watch? Movie nights are fun. I'm a little too old now that I tend to fall asleep if I watch a movie at night. It sucks. But it is a good time. Preparing, getting popcorn, getting like comfy jammas on. Do you call them jammas? I call them jammas. Anyway, just setting the ambiance, getting some drinks or something like that. I love popcorn. Popcorn is one of my weaknesses. I have many, but it is one of them. And it's hard for me to go to like a movie theater and not have something like popcorn, It's really hard. Let's see. Oh, let me go back to my Friday thing notes. Can't wait to get home. I hope you get home soon. All 3 episodes of Percy Jackson, Black Swan, and 20 minutes of Attack of the Clones. That's about as much of Attack of the Clones that I can take too.
That's not funny, Daddy.
Okay. Look, I try not to hate on Attack of the Clones. It has its moments. It has its strengths and it has its weaknesses. It just happens to be the weakest Star Wars movie. Sorry. How are you liking Percy Jackson though? Mrs. Nodder has really been into it. I think it's fine. I'm not like super into it, but I think it's pretty fine so far. I like them dropping little hints about who a person is and then be like, oh, it's that person. Like, oh, hey, it's Medusa, Oh, hey, it's Hermes. Oh, hey, it's, I kind of like that, but she's definitely more into it because she read those books growing up. So first episode was just trash, loved the rest. It did feel a little rough start, but I didn't hate it. I didn't immediately go, I'm not going to watch the rest. I would never anyway. But speaking of Star Wars, that leads us into our next topic pretty well, kind of. You'll see. It's a roundabout way, but it gets us there. So I want to talk a little bit about the Discord. I've been thinking about rebranding the Discord just a little bit. And depending on how you all react to it this morning, I might even do it as of today. So when I first started the Discords, first started streaming, I just came up with the name The Nerf Herders. Obviously, it's a Star Wars reference. It is the sound when you subscribe. I just did it as a placeholder. Same with the credits, the channel points. The channel points used to be called credits, and now they're called nonsense because that's amazing. And somebody came up with that. I'm trying to remember exactly who. I should probably start writing that down when you all give me great ideas. I should write down who gave it to me. But yeah, so now we got nonsense. And speaking of Star Wars, I love Star Wars. I really do. Was it Lars? I don't think it was Lars. I could be mistaken though. I feel like the name is on the tip of my brain and it's trying to come out, but I can't get to it. But speaking of Star Wars, the Star Wars fandom is in a rough place right now. It is hard to be a Star Wars fan and like not be incredibly toxic and combative. That's kind of the sort of community I've wanted to try to build from the beginning, is a group of people who like Star Wars but aren't toxic about it. And as I've continued on my streaming career, I've realized that, Star Wars isn't really the focus of this channel or of the Discord specifically. It's a part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's not the focus. So I would like to try to start leaning a little bit away from branding things with Star Wars. That doesn't mean that I'm going to get rid of the little Mon-Thur logo with the helmet. The helmet's still prominently displayed. That's still a thing. I'm not going to get rid of that. There's still going to be elements. Obviously, Lego and Star Wars is a big part of my life, but I don't want it to be everything. So with that, I'm thinking about just pulling the trigger on rebranding the Discord and the subscribers as the Nonsters. I'm not sure why I did a rim shot there. At first when it first was suggested, I was like, I don't know if I love that. And it's definitely grown on me. And I think it makes sense that we use something that has kind of been created by the community and less just by me because I didn't have any other ideas. I didn't like it. There's a lot of things in my life that I started out not liking. And the more I sit with it and the more I think about it and the more I let things marinate, the more, honestly, the more that people like, whenever we'd go into a raid, more people like Loots would say, hey, Nonsters, or when I'd use it myself, like I started using it ironically, it kind of started growing on me, and I was like, oh, I don't want to call you my little Nonsters. I probably won't do that. Cut to where I do that. My little Nonsters. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it works? Are we nostalgic about the Nerf herders at all? Is that a thing that anybody really cares about? If you do, that's fine. What will this entail? This will entail me changing, obviously, the name of subscribers. So I got to change that. I also need to change the audio that we use whenever somebody subscribes. I'm thinking about, I don't know if I should or not, but I'm thinking about having my kid record audio and say, hello, Nonster, rawr, or something like that. Just recording and doing a couple different takes and seeing what he thinks. Thinking about that. His audio stuff is like really, really cute. I didn't put any of his stuff on here other than this
That's
one.
not funny, Daddy.
I didn't put any of the rest of it on my soundboard. I need to get back on those. But yeah, that might be kind of cool to have him like say Nonsters and then roar or something like that. Or we could do something
No
else.
signs. They told it life
Anywhere. The anywhere is that's so him. I don't think you understand how, like, when I hear that, I just think that is just, there's something in his personality that is just encapsulated in that audio, in the anywhere. He also has started calling things when he says, I don't know what context he would use it in, but he would say it's not the normal one. Like when he's expecting something to happen, he's like, no, it's not the normal one. He'll say normal. I want the normal one. The normal. It's adorable and I love it so much. So, if I don't have a whole lot of like pushback, like, hey, I actually really love Nerf herders, you scruffy looking Nerf herders, I think I'm just going to do it, I think it's one of those things that doesn't really affect a whole lot. But I just wanted to make sure that nobody was going to be like, no, the Nerf herders are so, iconic. It will always be a part of where we've been, right? It'll always be a part of the story. And I think that that's important, right? Okay, so I think we're good on that, right? I'll make the change, and then if anybody has a problem with it, they can fight me. But yeah, I'll be thinking about things for new sounds for subs. I'll have to rename the subscriber chat, which if you didn't know, if you're a subscriber, you get little bonuses like a Nerf Herders chat where sometimes I talk a little bit about what's been going on the channel and ask suggestions and things like that. In fact, there was there's a big part of the pre-work coffee hour that happened in there, and we'll be talking a little bit about that. I'll show you a little bit about that at the next show, next Friday, because that has to do with kind of the year recap. I don't even know what a Nerf herder is. So a Nerf is people who round up the lost Nerf darts. No, a Nerf is like an ox or a buffalo in the Star Wars universe, akin to that. And so if you're a Nerf herder, you are someone you're like a Nerf shepherd. Like you herd Nerfs, and notoriously that is a stinky, smelly job. So in a weird way, I'm calling you all stinky and smelly. So it's probably not the best name anyway, right? But that just goes to show you that doesn't, the name of stuff like that doesn't really matter. Lars didn't even know what it was, so probably doesn't matter to change it, right? Okay, so we did that. We did Game of the Stream. Oh, now that Lars is here, I have to do the recap. I want to do a weekly recap of the rankings of the Phantom Menace redeems. For those of you who don't know, the Phantom Menace is a fun little redeem that you can get if you're the first one in chat. There's only one per stream. You get a fun little audio thing, and there's a tracker that tells you how many times you've done it. And now, drum roll, please. I need a drum roll on this. Now, there is a tracker for the ranks. So now each week we will do this. Here's the rankings. And holy cow. It is a battle between Clumsy Artist and Lars. I'm kind of surprised Dutch has had 25. I need to reach out to Dutch. I haven't seen him around in a little while. I hope he's okay. Maybe just end of the year stuff, So we have Clumsy at the top with 36. I knew you two had to be close. Dutch with 25. Pirate Eggs with 18. Lutz Mickagoots with 12. Charles Cheeserton with 12 as well. Your boy Elf with 10. Woodsy has 5. I kind of thought Woodsy had more. There was a while there where it felt like Woodsy was getting a lot of them. Number 9 is Nidalicious at 3, and number 10 is Ursa at 3. So Ursa's all of a sudden making an appearance on it too. You would not believe how easy that ranking system was to make. I put it off for a long time because I tried it like a couple months ago and I couldn't figure it out. So then I just went back in the other day and I did it in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And I was like, oh wait, I wonder if I do this. And I wrote it into the bot, which I use Mix It Up. I wrote it in and I hit rank and it spit it right out. I'm like, okay, wow, that was easy. So we finally have that. I believe that is available for you all to use as well if you want. There's also still Phantom, which tells you, in case you missed it, who the Phantom Menace today is. But yeah, not as big of a disparity between numbers as I thought there would be. I mean, the top 4 are all almost 20 and over. And then it just goes down from there, I was glad we had at least 10, But that's fun. We'll do a little recap each week of that and just see where you all are. It'd also be kind of fun. Do you think we should reset the timer at any point? Or should we try to keep it going as long as possible? Here's the thing. The file where this thing reads and writes from is on my computer. If something were to happen to my computer, I can back that file up, but I'm probably not going to back it up every day. So do you think we should clear it every year or something? I haven't really thought too much about it, but I'm kind of surprised. Well, no, I haven't been using Mix It Up that long. I don't know. Let me know what you think, if you think that that needs to happen. Those of you watching on Twitch, there is an ad coming in about a minute and 15 seconds. There's an ad coming. You can avoid the ad by using your Twitch Prime. If you want to give that to me, I would be grateful. You don't have to, though. Or you can use a regular sub, or just sit through a quick ad. You'll be back with us in no time. So again, that's happening in about a minute. No, I want to stay in first place. Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe at some point, if we start getting into the hundreds, maybe we redo it. I have a feeling what'll end up happening is I'll have a computer crash one day and I'll lose the file. And that'll be a sad day. I guess, could I have it auto? I could set up something to have it auto update. And like put it to my Google Drive. I think I could set something up like that. Because if I have to do it manually every time, I'm not doing it. Maybe when you get to 50, you get a special non-monetary prize and your score. Do you mean not non-monetary? Gives others time to get to first. Yeah. And then the score resets. I like the idea of then, so your particular score would reset. That wouldn't be too hard to do. I'd just go into the text file and basically find every time your name is mentioned and just delete it. Delete it. It wouldn't be too hard. I'll have to put some thought into what that gift would be if it's non-monetary. I mean, we could... Is doing a gifted sub, like if you aren't subscribed, you'll get it for yourself, or you can gift it to somebody else. That's kind of monetary though. That is kind of monetary. What about VIP? There's a couple people who have VIP in the channel for very VIP reasons, right? Those were kind of at my discretion. So what about if you get to be VIP, but you get to be VIP, your score resets and you start back at the beginning. But then once you're VIP, what's the incentive then to get it after? There is something there with VIP though, I think. I mean, I guess I could say, gosh, it'd just be so hard to track. I was going to say it could be VIP for a month.
It's a roundhouse kick of hydration.
Oh, thank you for that. Decrease this? What's that? What does that mean? Thank you for the roundhouse kick. Just getting first even. Yeah. It's funny how people love that. I mean, I've tried myself on other channels and I'm never fast enough. But it is really funny. But I like your idea of resetting the person who gets the most, because then, like you said, that gives somebody else a chance. VIP until someone else wins. Even though you said it was at your discretion. Okay. Discretion this. I get you. So you said it was VIP until someone else gets it. And then you get knocked down to the bottom. Interesting. I don't hate this. I don't hate this idea. I'm going to start a note for it in my stream notes. Phantom Menace ideas. Let's see. Should we say... Well, we don't have to come up with this right now. 50 wins. Get VIP. Reset score. Keep VIP. Until someone else wins. So one of the things is like somebody like Clumsy is already VIP. And then I got a couple other people I put a VIP badge who are kind of like closer to me. Some family have VIP badge. What if someone was VIP before? Does it get stripped from them? Yeah, so I'm having a hard time figuring out how somebody like Clumsy or somebody who has VIP would do that. What I could do, and this is just an idea, I could just take all VIPs away. All VIP status gets... VIP is now specifically about the Phantom Menace. I don't know how attached people are to their VIP badge. Have I mentioned I'm very tired? Yeah, you have. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna put some thought into that. Okay.
Credits will do fine.
Oh, we didn't get egg. But thank you so much for the 1 bit. I appreciate that. Credits will do fine. Yeah. Okay. So I'm glad we had that little conversation.
Credits will do
Let's see.
fine. Egg.
There's a dozen eggs. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, but I appreciate it. Okay, yes, we got to talk about the 30-day yoga journey. Our 30-day yoga journey. I'm gonna go grab this link real quick so that I can show you. So I mentioned in somebody else's chat, and then also in Discord, I think. Yeah, in Discord, if anybody would want to be on our yogurt journey, our 30-day yoga journey. I'm gonna try to do it because I'm feeling very tight. I'm feeling very tense. It's probably gonna be kind of hard for me because I'm kind of big right now. I've gained a lot of weight this year, and I am actively trying to lose it this year, mostly through my diet. But I also want to like get back into moving my body a little bit. And a lot of people suggested, and I had already known about this, but the yoga by Adrian. I went out to their channel and found a beginners yoga. She is starting a new one here in January, but I figured I wanted one that was already done so that we didn't have to wait on, depending on when they post it. If you'd rather do it in the morning or in the evening, then, you know. You don't think that tracks properly? 3-stream streak? Oh yeah, unless you watched the last couple of days, right? I don't remember seeing you the last couple of days, so maybe it's not working. So yeah, this is like a beginner's one, so hopefully it's not going to be too hard. One of the things I like about this, I've done these before, and one of the things I like about hers is she incorporates like a lot of, like, look at this one. This is a relaxation day. On day 5, we get to lay down with a blankie, and it's the greatest thing in the world. It's really good. There's relaxation. There's another relaxation. There's a stress relief. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, I wanted to do one that was a little more oriented towards like mental health and stuff like that. So this is the link to it. I'm going to put the link in Discord as well, but I'm going to put it in chat. You've been here for more than 3 streams. Oh, then it's definitely not tracking right, huh? I mean, there's been more than 3 streams just this week. Yeah, it's definitely not tracking right then. Well, thank you for being here, though. I'm sorry that's not working. So there's the link if you want to follow along. I'm also going to be putting it into the Discord as well. In fact, I'm going to go do that right now while I'm talking about it. Here's the link to the yoga, to the 30-day yoga challenge. I wanted to do one complete so we could work on it. I guess I could do this later, huh? Okay, here. I'm going to put the link there, but I'm going to actually post about it later. So yeah, that is starting on the 1st. It is every day for January. I mean, January has 31 days, but who knows? Maybe we'll throw an extra one in January, but we're just going to shoot for 30 days. So you have an extra day in there to play with, I guess. I want to do it so I can get to the habit of daily exercise, to be honest. That's kind of my thing, too. I need to get back to it. Back last year, around February, I started doing daily workouts, at least like through the week. And I did feel a lot better. And ironically, around March is when things, I started kind of coming back to the stream. Started trying to manage my stress a little bit. The biggest thing was getting rid of that job I was in. That didn't come till much later. But, you know, it was good for me. It was good for me. Again, like I told you before, it's a habit. It's like a good habit starter. If I work out, I shower. If I shower, I don't know, I put beard oil my beard. You know, I wash my face. It stacks all these good habits. And I'm all about good habit stacking, you know. My wife watches Adrian all the time. She has a good program. Zach, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I've done the 30-day yoga with Adrian before, and I've liked it. And every time I think about coming back to yoga, I go back to Adrian's videos. So very cool. Yeah. As soon as I mentioned, like, hey, would anybody like to do this? That was the first name thrown out there. Was yoga with Adrian. She can be a little goofy sometimes. She can be a little silly, but I like that. Okay, so that's the one. I'll post it in the Discord. If you want to join, here's a link to the Discord as well. Why didn't that work, Bebo? Hold on. I think I have a broken command in there. There you go. That is in the health section, the physical health section. So yeah, I'm very excited for the new year. I think this will be a good way to start out January. You know, don't pressure yourself too much. You can do it whenever you want. You want to do morning, afternoon, evening. It's all up to you. I'm still kind of trying to think about when I want to fit mine in. I definitely have the time to fit it in. I could even fit it in during the day. Thinking about doing it at lunchtime. Just kind of tossing that idea around. We'll see. Lunchtime workouts back in February through July worked really well for me. So I'm hoping to kind of get back to that. I think that would be good for me. And I need to work on my gym out in the garage. It's gotten a little oof. But I'll work on that on my week off. Okay. All right. Here we go. I think everything else is done. Did I cover everything else? Game of the stream reminder. Yeah, I think we're on to our main topic for today then, huh? This is a topic coming from Lars. The one and only Lars Apan. Let me see. Let me get everything ready here. I did a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Hold on one second. There we go. We'll go. Okay, I'm going to go dark mode for this browser just for you guys, okay? I know how much you like dark mode. Head cheese. Today's topic is head cheese. I still want to try head cheese. But no, this one, so Lars, if you want to tee a little bit of it up, I will go to what you said in the Discord first. Let me get to it. This one might be a little bit heavier today, or a little bit more. It seemed like there was a couple of you who it really rang true for. So I'd love to hear about your experience with it too. But it's basically weaponized incompetence. And I want to start with a couple of things first, okay? I want to start by saying, first and foremost, like, I am a very cisgender, traditional kind of person. Not because I think that is the proper way to live a life. It's not because of that. It is more because, I mean, there's a lot of social things that happened to me growing up. There's a lot of, I'll try to stay away from the word indoctrination, but, you know, there's a lot of things that I was taught growing up. And when it came time for me to kind of form my own family and the things that we do and the jobs that we do, we did fall into something a little more traditional, and it works for us. But I am not going to be here to tell you that is the way that it should work. That, you know, women should do cleaning and men should go to work. I'm not here to say that, nor do we believe that. But I just kind of want to caveat that like, while I live a fairly traditional life, I'm not here to tell you that that's the optimal way to live your life. I do consider myself fairly progressive when it comes to these issues, and I'm more than happy to talk about those things and like figure out what's going on with them and figure out, you know, is there anything in my own life that I need to like change? I am by far not a perfect husband, not a perfect father. I don't have all of my together. I just self-censored myself. I don't have all of it together. But I like to learn. And that's what we're going to do today together. We're going to learn, okay? So I am on board with examining those roles within like a house or within a family. And if they need to be changed, if it makes sense, then I think that's fine too. So Lars, you brought up this a few streams ago that there was a Twitter thread about men and husbands who have weaponized their incompetence in the household and in childcare. Let's start with that particular thing. Oops. Oh, come on. No, I'm not going to log into X. All right, I'm going to turn the music down just a little bit so that we can get in here. All right, let me bring this up here. There'll be a little bit of React style content here, but we're going to talk a lot about it. So, all right, this is what you first brought up, Lars. This is the first thing that initiated it. I'm not sure these quotes here. Women initiate 70% of divorce, choose better men, leftover women, male loneliness epidemic. Let's see what this has to say first. We should be able to hear this on... There we go. Yeah, dude.
I have a story that will make your blood pressure go to the roof. So a couple years ago, a post went viral on Chinese social media. A new dad is asking for help. And his question is, we just have a newborn baby. And suddenly my wife starting to ask me to do a lot of things. Like
should I log into Twitter?
With dishes, helping her with chore, and helping him with the baby. So the dad's question is, what can I do so my wife will not ask me for help?
What can I do so she won't ask me for help? Is that what she said? So my wife would not ask me for help anymore.
And
okay.
Hundreds of dads provide their advice to this dad. The answer with the second most like that, just play dumb. Every time when your wife asks you to do anything, just play dumb and make things messy. Like you have a low IQ. You don't know how to function. You don't know how to do.
Okay.
Even she told you a million times how to do those things. Just pretend you don't know how to do those things. And eventually she will never ask you to help.
Just pretend that you don't know how to do things. Are the comments something you want me to see? Because I can log into Twitter. Browsing Twitter, especially lately, on stream, is a risky thing to do. I will say that. I think there were, but I can't remember. Okay, well, if we need to come back to it, we can. I can log into it, but it's a risky thing. I've been in very normal threads that are talking about, everyday things, talking about Star Wars, and then there's just a but in the comments. Which would be fine if I wouldn't get kicked off of Twitch for showing a butt,
Anything. That is the second most liked answer. Let me tell you the top most liked
first liked answer.
So the top most liked answer is actually a reply to the second most liked answer. So top liked answer said, okay, that is so immature. Let me tell you how I handle it. So every time when my wife asks me to do something, I will immediately do it. And sometimes I will even voluntarily to help her with certain things, like cleaning the dishes or helping with the baby, change baby's diaper or feeding the baby. But I will intentionally to mess things up. Like every time when I voluntarily to feed the baby, I will make the milk too hot or too cold.
Why?
And every time when I voluntarily to do the dishes, I will break a glass or two. So every time I will mess things up on purpose. But every time I will voluntarily to help with my wife. So she will feel grateful that I'm willing to help. And she will understand that I want to help. I just cannot help her because I cannot do it as good as she did. So at the end, my wife stopped to ask me for help, but she also really appreciated that I want to help. And thousands of dads copied that answer and said, bookmark it, learn it. I'm going to do it when I have a kid.
What? Hey, Rebecca. So yeah, sorry to boil your blood. Okay, so one of the stories is, the top liked answer is that just like, be purposely bad with it. And then people, I don't understand why this one said, that's really immature. What you need to do is be like more weaselly about it. Just be a little more weaselly about it, but you're still going to do the same thing. I feel bad about this because there are a lot of things in my life I'm not good at, right? It doesn't mean I shouldn't try them. And I also feel a little weird talking about this without Mrs. Nonder here to cooperate. So as she watches this later on today, which I think she will, I'm sure she'll have some thoughts. So maybe we'll have a continuing conversation in Discord. But like, I have memory problems a lot. I have ADHD, I'm pretty sure. I should probably get that diagnosed so that I'm not saying, I'm pretty sure that I do. And most of my incompetence is entirely unintentional. However, if I just leaned on that, it's kind of like what the second group of guys are doing. If I just leaned on that, like, oh, well, babe, you know, I have ADHD. I have a hard time remembering things. I can write things down, right? Like there are things that I can do. There are steps that I can take to make sure that there are things I don't forget. But because I have a buffer of like a wife who might do it for me, I give myself more of a leeway to not do that. Does that make sense? So I feel a little bit bad because I feel like sometimes I can rely on this is just the way my mind works, and my mind files things in a weird way, and those things are true. But if I continue to use that as a crutch, I'm really not much better than these guys. You know, let's see what you all have to say. It's impossible for me to do housework with my Magnum. My Magnum dong keeps getting in the way. Lars says same. Yeah, you can relate. I don't have to pretend that I don't know what I'm doing. I look through some of these. There is a point somebody else makes later on in relation to that I think is really interesting. We'll get to it. Threads is even worse for that lately. Like Instagram threads, I honestly haven't been on Threads since. I kind of hoped that it would take off, but it hasn't really. I really don't like Twitter. I need to probably not use Twitter as much as I do, but here we are. How do I unwatch something? I don't know. You need one of those Men in Black pens that just erase your memory. It'd be kind of funny to have one of those. Surely they make them as like props, right? To have one of those, and then whenever we watch something like this on stream that people are like, ew, we can just like put it up to the camera and flash it. That'd be pretty funny. If it's really important, my wife will tell me to do it again. See, I feel like we can rely on that without even really thinking about it. Speaking of myself, at least, partners can have certain chores they each do. Nothing wrong with that if they're in agreement. Exactly. My sister literally bought Mr. Peace a small whiteboard so he can write down his chores and tasks. I tell my wife all the time, oh, I'll write that down. And I don't all the time. And then I forget. And then I'm like, well, of course I forgot. Like I because I didn't write it down. Yeah, so Pirate Eggs, you hit on something that I wanted to talk about too. Like when we first got married, and like I said in the beginning, we had a very traditional upbringing. So when we fell into these roles, they made sense for us. There was even a conversation we had not too long into our marriage. I couldn't remember if it was when we were dating or when we were married. But anyway, it happened. The conversation happened where it's like, hey, at the time, Mrs. Nutter was making more money than me. She had more years at this company than I did. And I was like, if you wanted me to be like the stay-at-home dad, I would do that. Like, and don't get me wrong, that's not an easy job. But I was like, I'd be more than happy to do that. Like, I love being at home. I would be more than happy to do that. But that is something that she had always wanted to do. That has been something that since childhood, she has been very, very adamant that is a thing she wanted. That is not a thing that every woman wants. It's not a thing that every man wants. That's not a thing that every person wants. Nor is it the moral thing for a person to want, right? So, we fell into this more traditional, I work, she does a lot of stuff with kid, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's like the proper way to do it all the time. But we did have those conversations. We didn't know what kind of conversations we were having at the time. We didn't know that it was like about gender dynamics and fairness and, making sure that we're partners together. But it did kind of like happen that way. Does that make sense? There's still a lot of stuff we should probably work out, but, yeah, we kind of fell into it by communicating, and I'd be interested to see what she has to say about this once this goes live, because she'll probably watch this later today. You have a good notebook now? I have taken to using just the Apple Notes and reminders on my phone. Let's see, do I have any reminders right now? Like, for example, next week when I'm off, I really want to I want to like do things, because otherwise I'll get, sad. Yeah, I mean, so here's the funny thing. This is a reminder. I think I can show you this. Yeah. This is a reminder of stuff I was doing like the week before Christmas. And I did all this stuff. I just forgot to mark it off. Well, technically, no, I didn't do all this. I did fix the hot water heater. It was actually water pressure. We did do a light timer. It didn't work out, but I did go to Goodwill. I put the chairs away. I haven't winterized outdoors yet, and I did hang the garland. So really, out of all that, and this is a reminder for something that's going to happen in February. I have other like categories for reminders, but they'll pop up at a certain time if I want. I did all that, and then I didn't actually mark it off, but yeah. So I'm going to do that for next week when I'm off. There's a couple of projects I need to get done. I'll probably start working on that today. Let's see. So because the problem is writing it down is great if it's somewhere where I can view it. But if it doesn't pop up and remind me, that's what I have trouble with, is like the reminder aspect. So if I write it somewhere and then I don't have a time frame where it will pop up for me and tell me, hey, you need to do this, that will happen. Where it's like, I've done most of that. But there's a couple of things I kind of didn't do yet. If I had $1 for every time I bought notebooks, installed a reminder app, etc., I'd have some money. I don't know how much, because I forget every time. I've had Evernote. I used Evernote for a long time. I just recently was trying Notion. I've tried regular physical paper notebooks, which doesn't work for me because it's not searchable. And sometimes I want to be able to search it. Pretty much you name it, I've probably tried it. I probably tried it at one point. But this is kind of what I mean, is that like I can feel myself wanting to make excuses of like, it's not weaponized incompetence, it's ADHD. But if then I use that as a crutch to be like, see, and that's why you should do all of that, then I'm not much better than these guys. So it is something I definitely need to work on. Voice recording app for the watch. I didn't think about that. Is it an Apple Watch? If so, can you send me which one it is? Here we go, another app. I could probably just tell Siri to do it, right? Sorry for triggering that if you're listening to me out loud. It's fine that if people want that role, but it shouldn't be assumed of the female identifying partner to take on all the house tasks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, I want to detach any sense of like morality to the fact that one person does a certain role more than another person. There's no morality there. It should all be utilitarian at the end of the day, right? I just got some ice, sorry. You guys on Apple Watch? Oh, hey guys, I got bad news. I got COVID for the first time. Red, I'm so sorry. Yes, please hydrate, take your medicine. Hopefully you've seen your doctor already. Hopefully it's mild for you. I hope so. Keep yourself away from other people. You know the drill. We all know the drill by this point. And stay safe. Surprisingly mild. That's good. That's good. It can be for some people. It can be really bad for others. So take care of yourself for sure. NyQuil. Does NyQuil help? You know what I found? I didn't have COVID, but Mucinex has an overnight. And it's basically the Mucinex formula with, I think, a sleep agent. And then none of the decongestant, because obviously if you started coughing in the middle of the night, it would keep you up. And that stuff makes me sleep so much better than NyQuil. I might be a Mucinex guy from now on. I'm usually a NyQuil guy. I love NyQuil. I don't use it often at all, like maybe once or twice a year. But when you're feeling sick, there's nothing better than getting a good sleep. But I feel like I got a better sleep on Mucinex nighttime than I did on NyQuil. NyQuil, I would sleep, but I would be a really foggy. The aftermath the next morning would be pretty bad. I'd be dragging. And that nighttime, the nighttime Mucinex, I was out like a light. And then I woke up and actually felt like I slept really well. It's dangerous. Use responsibly. NyQuil helped with my nighttime coughing. Yeah, it can. Does it have a decongestant in it too? I think the only reason the Mucinex took that out is because they assumed that if it's nighttime, you just want to sleep. And if you had some of the decongestant in there, or the exporant. Exporant? Is that how you say it? Yeah. That's the app you use. Just press record. Thank you so much. I'm grabbing that right now. Because that's a great idea. I have this thing on me all the time and I barely use it. Half the time I don't even get the notifications for it. So I had to turn the audio on lately because there's a couple times where the missus texted me and I just... For some reason I am now completely immune to the buzzing, like the vibration of this. Completely immune to it. And so now I have to actually turn the audio on so it dings and I can hear it. Okay, I'm writing this down. Okay, let's get back to topic though. Sabe Stefone can transcribe stuff for you too. That's cool. Expectorant. Also invisible labor. All right, let's get back to this. Let me look at the notes. Excuse me, in Discord here. So we're on board here. This is what they mean by weaponized incompetence. That it's not just you're incompetent and you don't know how to do things. It's you're incompetent and you don't care. And you're incompetent on purpose, right? So let's go to this article then that Octi sent us. And let's read a little bit of this article as well. Go to the desktop. Costs a few dollars, but it's once off fee, which is nice. I prefer that than another subscription. Good Lord. Or another app that says it's free and then you get in there and it's like, unlock the pro version. It's like, just tell me how much you cost up front and I'll decide from there. Anyway, she divorced me because I left dishes by the sink. Mrs. Nonder told me that after Octi posted this in the Discord, she laughed because I literally set like my coffee mug by the sink. So I'm not immune. I'm not immune to this. Okay. It seems, who wrote this? Matthew Frey, a contributor to the HuffPost. It seems so unreasonable when we put it that way, that my wife left me because sometimes I leave dishes by the sink. It makes her seem ridiculous and makes me seem like a victim of unfair expectations. We like to point fingers at other things to explain why something went wrong, like when Biff Tannen crashed George McFly's car and spilled beer on his clothes, but it was all George's fault for not telling him the car had a blind spot. This bad thing happened because of this, that, and the other thing, not because of anything I did. Look at all these ads. Good Lord. Sometimes I leave used drinking glasses by the kitchen sink just inches away from the dishwasher. It's not a big deal to me now. It wasn't a big deal to me when I was married, but it was a big deal to her. Why does the screen change? Every 2 seconds, something loads. Ooh, every time she'd walk into the kitchen and find a drinking glass by the sink, she moved incrementally closer to moving out and ending our marriage. I just didn't know it yet. Raju, good morning. How's it going? Yeah, maybe I should get like an ad block for the stream at least. I don't know. I don't typically do ad blocks. But anyway, even if I had, I fear I wouldn't have worked as hard to change my behavior as I would have stubbornly tried to get her to see things my way. The idiom to cut off your nose to spite your face was created for such occasions. This is the point that I wanted to bring out. I read this earlier and this really stuck out to me. Men are not children, even though we behave like them. Please bear in mind that this was written by a man as well, too. So this is from a male perspective, or at least, I'm assuming a male perspective based on the name. Feeling respected by others is important to men. Feeling respected by one's wife is essential to living a purposeful and meaningful life. I don't know about feeling respected by one's wife is essential. All right, let's keep going. Maybe I thought my wife should respect me simply because I exchanged vows with her. It wouldn't be the first time I acted entitled. One thing I know for sure is that I never connected putting a dish in the dishwasher with earning my wife's respect. I do agree with this aspect of it, that earning respect is earned. It is not just given simply because of who you are, right? Ethically, ad block is a bad thing, but at the same time, ads are so malicious that it's foolish to use the internet without one. Yeah, I think a great topic, in fact, I might write this down right now. Hang on. I think a great topic for another Friday show, I'm going to write it down right now, would be I'm writing it. Pirating content. Pirating content, maybe ad block. I don't know if those are the same thing. The pirating content one might ruffle some feathers. It might ruffle some feathers a little bit. Because I don't like doing it. And even if a company makes you feel just, I shouldn't get into it right now. Let's not get into it right now. I think that's a good topic, though. But it is probably going to ruffle some feathers. Yeah. Do you have time? Are you done with oh, shoot. Is it already? I can still spend a little bit more time. How did we get this far? I definitely want to finish reading this article and get some thoughts from you. But hang on. I really wanted this to drive home. I remember my wife often saying how exhausting it was for her to have to tell me what to do all the time. It's why the sexiest thing a man can say to his partner is, I got this, and then take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. I think this is true. I think that's true. I think the missus would agree, and I'm not always the best at that. This is definitely something I have said. 100% something I have said. If you just tell me what to do, I'll gladly do it. But she didn't want to be my mother. Yeah. This around, like, things like taking out the trash can happen. I don't want to talk too much about, like, it doesn't feel super fair to talk too in depth about my own personal experiences because it involves Mrs. Nonder as well. So I'd want her to be able to say her piece as well. So we'll continue the conversation in Discord most likely. But yeah, I've definitely said this. I've definitely said that. She wanted to be my partner. She wanted me to apply all my intelligence and learning capabilities to the logistics of managing our lives and household. She wanted me to figure out all the things that needed to be done, devise my own method of task management. I wish I could remember what seemed so unreasonable to me about that at the time. Men can do things. I love this part. Men invented heavy machines that can fly in the air reliably and safely. Men proved, and a lot of women too, but still, men proved that the heliocentric model of the solar system, establishing that the Earth orbits the sun. Men designed and build skyscrapers and take hearts and other human organs from dead people and replace the corresponding failing organs inside of living people. And then those people stay alive afterward, which is insane. This really did. I read this article yesterday beforehand, and that really sealed something for me, that it's like, look, like, sometimes we can feel like, oh, I'm not good at X and Y, but it's like traditionally and historically, like, we can do hard things. And putting something in a dishwasher isn't rocket science. It isn't rocket surgery, as they say. I'm an egg. I don't have feathers, but I am a pirate. Australian, where it's impossible to legally get a lot of things, so I blame companies for not allowing me to buy things. So that might be a little bit different if it's physically not available. I think, like all things, there's a gray area in that. I think it's a great conversation. We'll come back to that. The Twitter thread I linked, by the way, has a lot more good content in it. Let's see. What do we want to see in here? So why would you leave a glass by the sink instead of putting it in the dishwasher? Several reasons. He's got logical reasons. I may want to use it again. I don't care if a glass is sitting by the sink unless guests are coming over. I'll never care about a glass sitting by the sink, ever. It's impossible. It's like asking me to make myself interested in crocheting or to enjoy yard work. I don't want to crochet things, and it's hard for me to imagine a scenario in which doing a bunch of work in my yard sounds more appealing than any of the several thousand less sucky things that could be done. I relate to that a lot. So it goes back to that idea of a lot of women say if he wanted to, he would, My brother does do rocket science and he still won't put the dishes away. I hope that that's not because he thinks that's not my job. You know, it's gross to leave food fester on plates and bowls. Absolutely. Well, so like in a lot of other places in my life, I'm a pretty clean person. Like I like to keep a clean area. I hate smells. I like to make sure that my office doesn't stink. I hate smells. But yeah, I've left. I don't think it's the act of leaving the cup by the sink. Like my wife didn't go, oh, I shouldn't say my wife. Mrs. Nonder didn't go, I'm going to divorce you because of that, right? But if I started weaponizing that fact, and after she's expressed to me that that's not something that she likes, and I say, well, tough bananas, deal with it. This is your job. This is what you signed up for. Then I kind of think she might start to resent me a little bit, right? I've always tried to tell her and others, anyone who will listen, to like detach the morality from housework, detach morality from managing your household, because managing your household is it's not a moral thing, it's just a necessity, right? So if you don't get to something that day, it's because you're too busy or too worn out or whatever. It isn't because you're bad. It's not because you're bad at it. That's not it, you know? One other thing I wanted to bring up in this article, since we don't have time to read it all, unfortunately. The man capable of that behavioral change. Oh, we should probably read this part first. Sorry. I have to understand and respect that she cares about that glass, right? Caring about her equals putting the glass in the dishwasher. Caring about her equals keeping the laundry off the floor. Caring about her is thoughtfully not tracking dirt or whatever on the floor she worked hard to clean, etc., etc. The man capable of that behavioral change, even when he doesn't understand her or agree with her thought process, that's really key, can have a great relationship. Men want to fight for their right to leave that glass there, and it may look like this. Eat, wife. I think if your attitude and or words starts with eat, wife, you're probably going to get a divorce. I sacrifice a lot for you. You're not going to get on me about one glass by the sink. That little glass that takes a few seconds to put in the dishwasher, which I'll gladly do when I know I'm done with it, is so important to you that you want to give me crap about it. You want to take an otherwise peaceful evening and have an argument with me and tell me how I'm getting something wrong and failing you over this glass. I've seen this sentiment everywhere. If this is what you're going for, I don't think I've ever started. I would never say this to my wife, obviously, right? But I don't think I've ever started even the sentiment of like, look, girl, I do a lot for you. You need to be grateful. I know I have never said that. And I hope I've never conveyed that as a feeling either, you know? I hope. I'm trying my best. I'm not perfect by far. But it's that attitude right there that if you can avoid the entitlement of like, I sacrifice so much for you. Don't get upset about a cup, because it's not about the cup, right? Do we agree with that? It's not about the cup. It's not about that. This is a great article. I will link it here. If you'd like to read that, I'll link it there. There's a big gulf between perfection and telling your wife to eat. Exactly. But that's like the kind of attitude that can grow and fester, and resentment. I think resentment's probably like the biggest marriage ender. It's like money problems, but even that, it might all be just resent. It might be all like, I don't know. I am very happy in my relationship. I hope that Mrs. Nonder is also very happy in her relationship. But it always needs work, right? There's always something that needs to be done. But pulling away from the morality of it and being like, oh, I've never looked at us not getting to things like the dishes and being like, you're disrespectful. It's just like, no, it happens, you know? I sacrificed so much for you. And yes, because I've never compromised on anything for you. Yeah. Again, it's like a partnership. I don't know how to express this enough that I don't want to come off like I have anything special or anything figured out, because there's definitely some things in that article that made me go, ooh, I've done that before. But I think the difference will be seeing that in yourself and being willing, instead of getting argumentative or combative about it, being willing to be like, I see what you've been dealing with. Like I didn't look at it that way. I think that's a big difference, right? People not talking to each other. Sit down, talk, be adults. That's a big one. Communication's huge. Or be monkeys and throw shit. I'm not your keeper. Yeah. Be tough because some people will see it as an attack rather than trying to fix something. Yeah. You have to be like... You have to be conscious of it, right? Yeah. I would think that if you sit your partner down and be like, look, I need to have this heart to heart with you, right? And if they don't react in the right way, you might have some problems. Yeah. But I don't know. Look, it's so hard because it's like I never want to come off as the guy who has everything together. I'm not that guy. But I do know that I try my best, and I can do more. I can do more, like keeping better notes and stuff like that to kind of help out with those things. But I also know that that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I just need to get better. Therapy. Thank you, Rebecca. Thanks, Rebecca. I almost called you Becky, but I knew I shouldn't do it. But here, I'm going to just wipe that. Just dump that whole part of the stream. Rebecca. Fight me. No, I do. Not even really around my marriage. Of course, our mental health and stuff like that really affects all aspects of our life. But really surrounding childhood trauma, I think is a big one for me. And I need to deal with it, and I know I do, and I've talked to Octi about that before too, and DJ. Yeah, I need to do it. I always tell people that, like, hey, you can see therapy, and then I don't do it myself. So, especially in this economy. Ooh, therapy in this economy, especially in this economy. Hit them with especially in this economy. I like that. All right, well, I didn't get as far into that as I wanted to. Gonna go pirate some therapy. Would pirating therapy be ethical? Because you'd technically get better, but gonna go kidnap a therapist and force him to listen to my problems. He's tied up to a chair. Tell me how that makes you feel. Tied up to a chair, hands duct taped with a pen and paper so he can't not write things down. That's a funny visual. It's horrible, but it's funny. All right. I hate to do this, but I have to go. I really thought that I think I probably spent a little bit too much time in the beginning chatting it up. But if you have more thoughts on this, I would love to hear more. I did kind of have a little bit more I wanted to say, but I am running out of time. I like to be to work by like anywhere between 7:45 and 8, preferably on the 7:45 part. So that's 2 minutes from now. Let me get you over to Lutz if he is live today. He is. All right. Playing some more BG3. Yeah, let's keep the discussion going in Discord a little bit, because I still feel like I have more to say, and I'm sure Mrs. Nodder has some stuff to say as well. For such a big topic, maybe we revisit. It doesn't have to just be one stream. We could also revisit. Next Friday is going to be game of the stream, but we could pick this back up later. We could keep things going, especially if we have a lot of interesting things to say in the Discord. We can pick this back up later, okay? All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here for the Friday thing, whatever this thing is we're calling it. But I appreciate you very much. There will probably be a stream tomorrow morning. I think I'll do a Lego stream tomorrow morning because I have a couple of new things to test over there as well. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning. We could even continue talking about this tomorrow morning if we don't want to do it on a Friday stream. If you're watching this on YouTube later on today, I will be live Saturday the 30th building a Lego set on stream. You gonna build some Lego with me? That'd be cool. So yeah, I haven't done some Lego in a little while. I don't think I'll be able to finish an entire set, but you know, we'll at least start on one. Okay, I'm sending you over right now, okay? Raid loots, Mick Goots. You gotta work, Rebecca. That sucks. Whoops, I put a space between Mick Goots. There we go. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Then if I don't see you tomorrow, and I'll see you next week for the pre-work coffee hour and game of the stream, don't forget. Here's the straw poll one more time. If you want to vote on the game that you liked seeing streamed this year, I would be grateful. And we're going to have a fun little award show. Okay? All right. I'll see you all tomorrow morning.